Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And we are looking at the lovely Painted Poppies, and this is in, if you haven't been following me along, this is in the new January to June mini catalogue, which is available for customers from January the 3rd next year, so after Christmas. If you want a copy of this catalogue, then just let me know. Leave me a comment below and I will arrange to get one out into the post so you can see all the lovely things in there. Now, we're looking at the moment because I was able to get a pre-order. As a demonstrator, you're able to get a pre-order, so you get the products a month early, which is great. So I can then play with them all, show you different ideas and things, so when you get the catalogue in your hands, you can go, oh yes, no, I like that one, or I like that one, and you've got some ideas of what you can do with it. So, as you know, I'm very much somebody who tries to get the absolute most out of every single stamp set that I have. So, we are going to be using this image here in the Painted Poppies, and we are going to be making a card, fairly simple, like this. Now, you'll notice that the ribbon is coloured, and you'll notice that there's a lovely little frame around this. So I'm going to show you how to do it from the start, but we're going to choose a different colour. So we're going to choose Melon Mambo. The first thing we need to do is we need to, from the dies, which are called the painted label dies, they come with a bundle. So if you buy both of them together, you get a 10% discount. And we are choosing the frame from that, and we have put it in the centre of a piece of Whisper White cardstock and just cut the frame out. So that's all we need to do with the with that die set. The rest is just using the stamps. So we have this piece here and we have the frame. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it so that it goes completely flush. So it looks as if it's a framed border. That's the colour that we're doing as the background. So the first piece on this that we need to do is we are going to stamp the poppy out. Now we're going to do the poppy in. Let me get a block. Pop this on there, get a good black ink, and then I'm using my grid paper to line it up. In fact, I need it from the bottom more than from the top. And then I am going to, excuse my head if it comes in, but I'm going to stamp this in the centre. Hopefully I've got it reasonably straight. There we are. And you've got that beautiful image which fits perfectly inside the little frame, which I thought was rather good. I love it when I have new products and things to play with, because you learn something new all the time and you think, oh, I wonder if that'll fit in there. I wonder if that'll fit in there. And it's lovely when things do fit where you want them and you think, oh, that's nice. Okay, so that's the little stamp that we're using out of this one. Now we are going to use the splodges. The splodges are absolutely lovely. I love splodges. I love the way they give texture to a background. So let's get a block out. The nice thing is that they don't have to be exact. They don't have to be the same colours. I'm just getting my Melon Mambo out. You don't have to be a great stamper to be able to do the background. All we're going to do is we're going to take this on here. I've got a bit of, yes, let me just take a bit of scrap paper on here. I have been using it rather a lot, but that'll be fine. So we're going to put that on there, and we're just going to take the Melon Mambo, and it doesn't really matter where you put these. It's really quite sort of random. What you're doing is you're creating a rather fun background. So we're just working all the way around I love the way this this splot is literally like a big splot. Then we can fill in those little spaces here. So we've got a frame that is going to match our background. Might even do one in the centre there. I think that's about right. Yes, beautiful. Okay, so that's our background piece done. And we can put that to one side because we don't need to do anything with that at the moment. And I'm just going to clean off my my block with my Simply Chamois, which, as I say, is such a great little tool to use. And we'll pop this one back in here, then we're not going to lose it. So that's going to go in like that. Perfect. Okay, now with this frame, what I'm going to do is I am going to take the Melon Mambo marker, and because there is a border around here and it's embossed, I'm going to go round the edge of this border. It's relatively easy to do because you're not you've got the edge that's embossed, so you're not likely to go, although I might get it all over my fingers. I've got to be careful not to get it on there. Turn it round. Because you've got that little embossed piece, what happens is that little embossed piece is just works really nicely and stops it going any further, and it gives you that edge. Stampin' Right markers are really good. You can use them for all sorts of things, but for something like that it's really good. Now my lights are very bright, so it's not probably going to be as accurate as the last one I did, but it should be all right. So we then have our little frame. There we go. That's coloured in. And while I'm at it, I think I will do... Now, the only thing I've got to make sure is that I don't get too much ink on. I'm going to do the flower in the Melon Mambo as well, but I'm going to take it, and I'm going to do it with the Stampin' Right markers. I'm going to take some... what's this one? Blushing Bride as well. So just two colours to just sort of give it a bit of a tone, and I'm going to use the fat brush for this because I want to do it quite sort of gently, just coming through from the bottom. Now the blends, Stampin' Right markers, you have to be a little bit more cautious with them because they will pill, but they're normally not too bad as long as you don't... It's a light hand. You can use the blender pens to blend them in, but you don't need to necessarily. You can just literally just as long as you're quite light-handed. And obviously you can use our blends, you can use any of our colouring mediums you want, but I try and do things as lightly as I can. I can always fill in the little spaces where I've got some little spaces. Hasn't come in, that's lovely. Now this little one, we want the little tip pail, and then we want the base just dark to just give that little bit of a shadow coming through where it comes in. And then I've got the Old Olive in the markers, so we'll do that one. We'll have our little leaf, and again it's just something as small as this. You just need to do very light little strokes, and if you need to fill in any spaces you can just do sort of like little dots. So I always do little dots right the way up to the top, and then I can fill in any of those little spaces like that. Then I'm going to turn it down to the nib side because I want to do the inside of this, and it gets quite narrow up near the top, so I just want to make sure that I've coloured that in. And again, with anything, it's your absolute choice of how you colour it. We've got, as I say, markers. You can do aqua painters. You can do our watercolour pencils. You can use ink. Really is your choice. Okay, so now we've got that on there. Now, I want to just add a sentiment on here, and I think I'm going to have from the peaceful moments, which goes with it. I'm going to have this as a happy birthday one, I think, so I'll have happy birthday in here, and I'm going to put that. Let's make sure I've got it as level as I can. That'll do. I'm going to do that in black. And that should fit quite nicely in between on here over the top. Like that. So you've got the happy birthday coming through, which is quite nice. And then let's pop that back in there. Like that. And then we can take a card on there. This little panel is going to go right into the centre. And then we can put some ribbon on. Now I will show you how to do the ribbon. Let's take that scrunch. Oh no, we'll need that. So we've got that for our basing on here. The ribbon. I'm going to put the ribbon round on here. So really love this ribbon. It is called, remind myself, crinkled seam binding ribbon. And it is, I'm not very good at tying bows. I've never been very good at tying bows. I don't enjoy tying bows, and I don't use ribbon very much. However, this is really lovely because it's quite small. It's quite thin as well, which means that for tying bows, you can tie really great bows, and you don't have to be a bow expert. So, and the best thing is you can colour it in whatever colour you want. So we want to have this coordinating with our Melon Mambo, so I'm going to get the marker out, and I'm literally just going to stroke it. Now when I first did this, and I know some of you might have been doing this for quite a while, as I say, I'm not a great ribbon person. I do use it, but it's not my favourite medium to use because, as I said, I'm not very good at tying bows. I've never really been somebody who's liked too fussy bows, and it's quite difficult to get them in all of the colours that you want. So you look at a ribbon and you go, oh, I really like that, and then you go, but I wish it was in this colour, I wish it was in that colour. Well, this allows you to colour it however you want, which I think is just brilliant. I think it's just such a brilliant idea. So, and if you use the side of your marker, now obviously you can use your alcohol markers, so the stamping blends. Oh, somebody's just turned up at the door. Hopefully it's not for me, or it's going to next door. They're just going out for a walk. My little dog's quite good. She's not a guard dog, but she will bark if people sort of come to the door to drop things off. And because it's Christmas time, the postman seems to be getting later and later these days. So, right, nearly at the end of it, but you can see it. All I'm doing is literally just stroking it through, and it soaks. You don't have to do both sides with this. It goes right the way through to the other side. So I'm so impressed with this. Let's just do this bit down on here. Now, you will need to wait for it to dry for a little bit. Otherwise, you end up getting it all over your fingers and things like that. But it doesn't take too long. But you can see, look, right the way through. Oh, I've missed a little bit. That was me. Mind you, that I don't think that will show. So we are going to take this in here. It's because of the lights. Yeah, no, that's going to be fine. So we are going to put this piece in first. So let's just... Now you can, on the other card, what I did was I sponged on the inside panel piece, just to give it a little bit of extra sort of dimension, but I don't think I'm going to do it on this one. I'll have a little look before I stick it down to just see whether it needs it, but I think I'm going to be all right without adding anything in there. So this is our lovely little framed border. Let's get that straight. Then we've got our panel piece that's going to go right in the bottom. No, I don't want to colour that in anymore. So that's literally just going to go in. I've got to be careful that I don't get that my fingers and get a mucky mark on it. So it's quite easy when you've done something right the way across to get a mucky mark in, but I think I'm all right. So put that in so that goes completely flush. So you've got it nice and flush. And then we can take our ribbon, take it round on the bottom, and I'm just going to tie it quickly. I'm not going to glue it and stick it down because I will finish it off afterwards, but because even though I'm on camera, I'm still not going to be able to tie a bow brilliantly. But, so here you go. Somebody who can't tie bows at all on camera. I'm always struggling, even off camera. But because this is nice and thin, get those little tails down. My tails are in the wrong place, but let's turn that round the right way. Take that down just a little bit. Take that down just a little bit. Right, you can see, even though I'm not a great bow tire, it's quite simple to do. So that will make, let me just put, this was the first one I did. So this is, I've done it in the old olive, this was. And this time I sponged it round the sides because I'd done the black and made it a thank you. This one, let's just put this on here because I haven't cut another base. That one will go on there, and you've got another card. So by using this just one beautiful lovely poppy in there and the splodge, you can make an absolutely beautiful card. So another idea for you. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do come back because there's going to be lots more with this stamp set, and then we're going to move on to some of the others. But thank you so much for watching me. Look forward to seeing you again. Bye bye.